Hi everybody. At last these LEDs are done. These LED lids which will come on these cable channels. And this part right here is done, as you can see. On top there. There's LEDs. And not the underside, that's just that part which has LEDs on the underside of it. For the rest of it, nothing on the underside, but the lids will have LEDs like this pattern you see up there. Of course, LEDs in the middle are white, and maybe that one is red, yellow, green, blue, violet, and it begins all over again like that. So that's how they are done. Took pretty long time to make them as well. Those bloody wires in there. Approximately 1.5 hours for just one of them. One of the long ones. And there are 13 of them. So pretty much work. But of course it's done. And yes, good. And I put some wires in that cable channel as well. As you can see, here got one. Another one up there goes a doorbell. It's actually used to shut off the doorbell after 11 or 23 at night. So if somebody push the button on the outside, it don't screams. And this wire here goes out here. And then we got an interesting thing. That's a what do you call that? Door guard. Yes, if somebody opens the door, it triggers an alarm. So I know the door is open. Yes, that's outside, by the way. If you didn't know that. And let's put that wire as well. This is one here, which will be for bed switches. So the little control panel goes here. And it goes all the way up here and away to the workshop. And then we've got another wire, which will be for the LEDs. Up there you can see the little hole. I drilled a hole through the wall. And there's an in here. Not so much has changed. A little bit cleaner. You can see one of these LED lids. How they're made. I'm gonna put some wire on this. Connect them up. The LEDs here. You can see the legs. I'm going to put some LEDs in this one as well, and some switches. This for controlling stuff in there, and just LEDs to show you what's happening. And I bought another voltmeter, that's a volt and amp meter. Bought another one from eBay. Will arrive soon, so I have it on the right here. That's for a 48 volt, and the upper one will be for a 12 volt. Batteries, of course. 48 volts for that UPS, and 12 volts for those inverters. A heat sink. IGBT set. Yes, I put a breaker kind of thing. What it is? It's some kind of breaker under here. I will show you that. I think High Voltage Rules has one of those as well. And here's the switch I was talking about. You can see there's a wires going in. Those wires coming in and those wires coming out. Here I've got the breaker, 24 volts, going into the connector block here. And that one high voltage one rules has is 160 amps, but this one is 125 amps. A little bit smaller. I'm going to show you that one high voltage one rules have. And here it is. If you haven't subscribed to High 1 Voltage 1 Rules, please do it. His videos are awesome. And the breaker has a test button here, but mine is up here instead, or here instead of here. And yes, pretty similar switch. ABV, mine was ABV as well. There's a test button here instead of right here. This is pretty good. It's actually for DC. It was connected to a big UPS. And it was connected to a battery bank. That's good. And that's for if something happens in these switchboards. There's some fire alarms on the top. Not fire alarms, smoke detectors. There's one in there as well. And that will trigger a relay on this board, which will come here, and that one. And that will shut down the main contactor, which is in that board over here. And it will shut down that. So if one of the inverters actually burns, it doesn't matter if it shuts down the main, if it's the inverter which is causing the problem. So it actually shuts down the 12 volt line as well. But that's pretty high current. These are from these big batteries. If you haven't seen them, there they are, that's one. That's the other one, these are 6 volts each. So I think it was 300 amp hours. Pretty big batteries. It's pretty good to have a switch on there. Even more nice when High Voltage 1 Rules has one as well. And yes, not so much more has happened here. Gonna connect in these wires and stuff. Some work to do. Oh yes, that thing here. Need to talk about this one as well. This thing will go in there, in front of that little self-transformer. Low voltage transformer there, 24 volts, in front of that. And what have we got? We got a 5-pin glove, or 3-phase glove, which we call them in Finland. And here we got a Perilex. It's a Swedish stove connector, 3-phase as well. And here we got the Unfinol 24-pin connector. Is the Unfinol? I think so, and the Unfinol right there. The Perilex looks like this. We got the neutral here, L1, L2 and L3, and the earth in the middle. And a 3-phase glove, if I just can get it off. It's a bit hard. So it sounds off. You can see it. 3-phase glove, I don't see why it's called a glove, because this pin in the middle, the earth pin, is a bit fat, like a thumb. And we got the other fingers around it, like this. Glove. And of course, there will be 3-phase coming out of these ones. One really for the variac, and one for the ballasted, if I use ballasted one. And then with a 24-pin connector, which will be just 3-phase, variac, and a lot of control wires. And of course, we don't do a silly single phase in Finland. We got 3-phase wire to every house here. It's pretty good. You can use very thin wires for that. We use just 6 square millimeters, 25 amps. You can come pretty long with 25 amps. But in the US, you can't go so long with 25 amps. That's too low. 25 times 120 volts. What do we get? 3 kilowatts? That's nothing. That's good with 3-phase. 400 volts, not 120. Some of this stuff must be done in this switchboard. But that's done. That panel down there is done. Wires. Battery box is almost done. Some batteries left. There's some stuff left. I need to fix that pretty quick. Yes, that was it. Thanks for watching.